Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Equality and Rights for All. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a very interesting topic for today's show, in which it is the definition of deflation of the economy. Now, because a lot of people don't understand this, or they misunderstand it. And so let's get right into this because I want to help educate people out there about what this actually means. Now, deflation of the economy means that prices for things will go down drastically. There'll be a lot more people buying things and at really cheaper prices, and this is really going to happen, especially because of the fact that um, the housing market is in trouble. Um, Pretty soon, the stock market is not going to be doing the greatest. And so, to help alleviate the pressure, um, uh, we're going to have what's called the deflation of the economy, in which it's great for the buyer. It really helps the buyer. It's not great for the seller, okay? Because prices are going to go down drastically in many areas, and like I said, that's not the greatest for the seller because a lot of people they want to sell things at outrageously high prices and stuff like that and whatever. Um, so um, like big corporations, they want to say, hey, let's sell a bar of soap for $20 a bar, or whatever. I was exaggerating, but you get my drift about what I mean. And so when we have the deflation of the economy, it does not mean that the economy is going to crumble and go, and deteriorate or whatever. It just means that the prices for products are going to go drastically lower. Okay. Now, next month, when the federal government meets again to discuss interest rates, um, more than most likely, they're not going to raise the interest rates again next month. It's going to basically be at a standstill with that for now. And then towards the end of this year, or maybe into the beginning of next year, possibly like within the first quarter of next year, you're going to see a huge deflation of prices. Prices are going to go down drastically, you know, and people are going to be buying houses at cheaper rates, you know. Um, and that's why I don't know if people notice this, but in many areas the government are complaining about not enough housing, and that's why the prices for property for houses is going to go down, and that's going to be cheaper for the government to buy, and so on and so forth. Because when that happens, when the deflation happens, uh, the value of people's property is going to go down. That's why it's going to go. It's going to be great for the buyer, not great for the seller. But it is what it is, and this is going to help the economy to help bring back, people buying things and stuff like that, and probably come like next year, early next year, people might be buying houses again. That'll be booming things and stuff. So, um, that's why a lot of people are selling houses now. So, um, and prices for stocks are pretty high right now, but then come like the end of this year or into the first quarter of next year, the prices for stocks will be much lower too. So that way, again, it's great for the buyer, not great for the seller. But that's why you see a lot of people selling stocks right now too, because they're getting all the money that they can right now. And again, like I said, people are selling houses now and stuff like that. It's a seller's market, it's not a buyer's market right now. But then come like the end of this year and into the beginning of next year, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be a seller's market, not a buyer's market. I mean, sorry, reverse that. Sorry, scratch that. It's going to be a buyer's market come next year and not a seller's market. Right now, it's a seller's market. Sorry about that. So, again, I want to correct myself. Right now, it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market. But come the end of this year or into the first quarter of next year, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be a buyer's market and not a seller's market. So, there's a lot of fancy rich people, a lot of corporations that say, "Oh, I got and they're going to complain about money and whatever. But hey, seriously, we got to worry about the people now. You know, so but that's what the deflation of the economy means. And so um, and there's going to be a lot of businesses that are going to sell products, even when come like the end of this year and into the beginning of next year. If they lower the price of their products, but it's still pretty high, people are going to look to go into their competitors. People need to be smart buyers, um, shop around, look for the better prices. You don't need name brands and everything else. You can find uh, similar things, non-name brands that do just as good. Seriously, you know. And about people crying, complaining, I want name brand, I want name brand. Too bad, you know. Seriously, and so that's what I mean. And then here's the other thing that people need to understand in business. It's um, when people keep buying a certain product, you know, it's supply and demand, right? If the stores run out of that product, they got to order more. And then companies are going to say, hey, there's a pattern here. So that product that's been really cheap, we're going to increase the price at some time, you know, and whatever. So we could still make a bit more money and people buy our products. But smart shoppers are going to be wise to that. They're going to be like, once you raise your prices, we won't buy your products. We'll look at your competitors and uh, uh, we'll get the same thing at cheaper prices. You know, that's what people are going to do. And then so businesses, they think they're shrewd and everything, but people need to get smart. Once people get smart, businesses don't like that. So, um, and then, if any company takes a loss, they can always uh, get it back on their taxes and stuff like that as a loss or whatever, and they can make the money back again. But there's a lot of rich people that don't want to wait that long. They want everything right now, right now. But anyways, so that's what the definition of deflation of the economy means. So, but anyways, I want to remind all my fans out there about the business that my husband and I have together called AWLDNY. The link to there is awldny.com. You guys could check out all the items on there. And I also wanted to remind all my fans out there about my other business, my other website that I have called Advocate Information Highway. And the link to there is aihny.com. Again, that is aihny.com. You guys could check out all the pages on there. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.